wife of 7 years cheated on me. Now everyone in my circle, friends, her parents and my parents are suggesting me to take her back. Don't know what to do. I met my wife 10 years ago. We both were in college, dated for 3 years and married for 7. She is beautiful and amazing person and everyone in my family loves her. 4 months ago, I found out my wife was having an affair with a mutual friend of ours. It was a 1.5-month affair. She was acting very shady at that time. She would ignore my messages, turn me down every time I tried to initiate sex. I thought something was wrong. I did snooping but found nothing. Eventually, I hired a PI. Within 1 week, I got proofs. She was having an affair with our mutual friend. I immediately confronted her. She confessed having an affair. Immediately, she started crying, begging. Basically, all classic cheater moves when they are caught. I asked her for all details with detailed timeline. At night gave me everything. Basically, she was using another phone for having an affair. She told me she had sex with him only 4 times and rest of time they were just hanging out and having fun. 3 days later, more crying and talking crap about herself. She told me that she had deleted all contracts with him and do whatever it takes to make our marriage work. She suggested mix-C. I denied, told her to leave me alone. I was hurt, betrayed, humiliated. She moved out to her parents. She started texting me every hour how much she loves me and how she regrets this and will do anything to save our marriage. After completely ignoring her for 2 days, I texted her that we are getting divorced. She freaked out and started having emotions breakdown. My phone started blowing up with her parents, sister, friends telling me not to end marriage and at least give her a chance. Later that day, she made a long post on FB explaining how she fucked up and how she has destroyed her marriage, basically admitting her affair publicly. But I was rock solid on my decision. She even insisted to have a lie detector test to clear my doubts that she never cheated in the past. Blah, blah, blah. I asked her for some time alone to process all this. We have been living separate since. This was all 4 months ago. Last week, I asked her for divorce, and she started crying, begging for another chance. After that, she visited my parents and asked them to convince me not to divorce. Last night, my parents and her parents tried to convince me to work things out. And after she made her FB post, almost all of our mutual friends were telling me how she was brave to admit her affair, and that she loves me and I should at least give her a chance. I'm on an edge of having a breakdown. She is truly remorseful and regrets this, I can assure you this. I do love her and her cheating on me hurts the most. I don't know what to do. Anyone who has reconciled, how are things going on? Small update. First of thanks to each and every one of you. The amount of support I got in last 15 years was unbelievable. I'm sorry I couldn't reply to your comments, and PM I'm trying to answer some common questions. We don't have kids. We were planning to have kids after this pandemic was over. We both own a business and we work together. I haven't talked to her in almost 3 months, only business-related stuff. Here's the update. After reading all your comment and PMs, I decided, talk to my parents. I called them and told them that I was going for divorce. After an hour later, she called me crying not to end it and told me to at least meet her in person. Since the day, I haven't seen her or talked about affair. Every time I talked, I ignored the talk about affair. She told me she'll explain everything, at least hear her side of story, and after hearing it, whatever decision I'll take, she'll respect that. Since I don't know what was going on and don't have much information about the affair, it will be like closure to me. So I've decided to meet her on Sunday. That's it, nothing dramatic. Now for the next story. My wife cheated on me and says it's not her fault. This past weekend, the kiddo and I went on a 2-day camping trip for some father-son bonding time. My wife doesn't like camping herself at all anymore and doesn't even appreciate our kid and I going. This is a big hobby for me and I want to share with my son. Usually we argue a lot about my trips, especially if I request to bring our child. But this time she was oddly cooperative about the whole thing, but still insisted she wouldn't join us. I was surprised but didn't question anything because I was so excited that she was finally allowing us to go and I didn't want her to change her mind. I thought we had finally found a common ground and the arguments were ending. I was wrong. We had a great trip and returned back on Monday. We expected to come home to an empty house as my wife should have been at her office for a few more hours. I walked the kid up to his room as he was exhausted and ready for a nap. After, I walked into our bedroom to find a naked man in my bed. I recognized him as my wife's co-worker whom I have met numerous times at her work functions. At first, I was in disbelief and even wondered if I was in the right house. Then my wife walked out of our bathroom, also naked, and I had no more doubts. She looked petrified when she saw me. I have never been so angry. I yelled at the dude to get out of my house so I could speak to my wife. He grabbed his clothes and left. Then we started arguing. I never yell at my wife. We always want to keep things civil for our son, but I was so hurt I was screaming. Then my wife decides to get defensive, saying it's not her fault that I am barely around and camp so much, even though I hardly go on trips anymore because she doesn't like it. She says, "That's what drove me to do this, your neglect to this family." I was in tears at that point. I just don't understand how her cheating could be my fault. When I turned around to leave, my son was standing in the doorway, and I felt terrible for yelling. I quickly consoled him, but my wife snapped at me again, telling me to get my hands off him. Now she won't speak to me and says I can't see my child until I apologize. Apologize for what? She said we could go on this trip. She planned to cheat, and that kills me. It makes me wonder if she has done this before. I'm stuck staying with my parents right now. I don't know what to do. I want to see my son. I'm worried I really scared my child, and of course I would apologize to him, just not my wife, but maybe it is my fault. My wife cheated on me while my son and I were on a camping trip. She says it's my fault for camping too much. I'm back home now, decided it was best to get here ASAP. Things are quiet, but I'm relieved to be back in the same space as my son. Thank you all for the advice and kind words. It means so much. I'll keep you all updated if you'd like. Thank you all again for the support. I appreciate it. Sorry I can't reply to everyone. There's a lot of you and things are tough right now, but thank you so much. In case of any confusion, I am Canadian. Hello again, everyone. Sorry for my absence. I have been busy. I posted a more in-depth update on my account if anyone is curious. In short, divorce is in the works as well as custody of my son. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.